Imagine this. Two people start at the same place. Same age, same school, same chances. After 1 year, one person is doing really well. The other is almost in the same place. No big mistake happened. No big success happened. Just small daily choices. That is where the real difference begins. Let's look at a simple story. John wants to get better at studying. He decides that from tomorrow, he will study 3 hours every day. On the first day, he studies a lot. On the second day, he feels a little tired. On the third day, he skips. After 1 week, he stops. Now look at Sarah. She also wants to improve, but she decides something small. She will study just 10 minutes every day. It feels easy. She does it every day. After a few weeks, 10 minutes becomes 20, then 30. After 1 year, Sarah has studied a lot more than John, not because she worked harder in 1 day, but because she stayed consistent. This is where the idea of the book comes in. The book Atomic Habits is about small habits. The word atomic means very tiny. The main idea is simple. Tiny habits, done every day, create big results over time. Many people think success comes from big actions, like making a huge plan or doing something very difficult. But the book explains that success is not about one big moment. It is about small actions repeated again and again. If you improve just a little every day, the result becomes very big after some time. Think of it like this. If you improve by just 1% every day, after many days, you are not just a little better. You are much better. But if you get 1% worse every day, even small bad habits can slowly bring you down. This is why habits matter so much. Now here's an important idea. Results do not show up immediately. This is where most people get confused. When you start a good habit, like exercising or reading, you don't see big results in a few days. So people stop. But the truth is, habits work like a slow process. At first, nothing looks different. Then slowly, things start to change. And one day, you see a big difference. Think about planting a seed. You water it every day. For many days, you see nothing. It looks like nothing is happening. But under the soil, roots are growing. Then one day, a small plant comes out. Habits work the same way. The work is happening even if you don't see it yet. Now, let's talk about one key lesson from the first chapter. The problem is not your goals. The problem is your system. A goal is what you want. A system is what you do every day. For example, John's goal is to get good marks, but his system is weak. He does not study regularly. Sarah's goal is the same, but her system is strong. She studies a little every day. So even though both want the same thing, Sarah gets better results. This means you should focus less on goals and more on daily actions. Goals are important to give direction, but systems are what actually make things happen. Here is another simple example. Imagine two people want to get fit. Both have the same goal. One person works out once a week for a long time, then stops. The other person works out for 15 minutes every day. Over time, the second person becomes healthier. Why? Because the system is consistent. Another important idea is identity. This means how you see yourself. The book explains that real change starts when you change your identity, not just your actions. For example, instead of saying, I want to read more, say, I am a reader. Instead of saying, I want to exercise, say, I am someone who takes care of my body. This small change in thinking is powerful. When you believe something about yourself, your actions start to match that belief. Let's go back to Sarah. She does not just think, I need to study. She thinks, I am a student who studies every day. Because of this, studying becomes normal for her. It is not a hard decision anymore. It is just who she is. John, on the other hand, still sees studying as something extra, something difficult, so he keeps stopping. This shows that habits are not just about what you do. They are about who you become. Now, let's understand one more thing. Small habits feel unimportant. Skipping one day does not look like a big problem. Eating junk food once does not seem harmful, but these small actions add up. If you skip one day, it becomes easier to skip the next day. Slowly, it becomes a pattern. The same is true for good habits. If you do something small today, It becomes easier tomorrow. Then it becomes a routine. This is why consistency is more important than intensity. Doing something small every day is better than doing something big once in a while. Let's take another simple story. Mike wants to start running. On the first day, he runs 5 miles. He feels tired. The next day, he rests. Then he keeps delaying. Soon, he stops completely. Emma also wants to run. She starts with just 5 minutes. It feels easy. She does it every day. After some time, she increases it slowly. After a few months, she can run much longer without feeling tired. Emma did not push too hard. She just stayed consistent. That is the power of small habits. Now here is something very important. Habits shape your life without you noticing. Your daily actions decide your future. Not big decisions, but small repeated ones. If you read every day, even for a few minutes, you will become smarter over time. If you waste time every day, even a little, you will lose many hours over time. The effect is slow, but very real. So the journey is simple. First, understand that small habits matter. Second, focus on building a system, not just chasing goals. Third, change how you see yourself. Become the type of person who does the right habits. Let's bring it all together with a small journey. John struggled because he focused only on big actions and quick results. He wanted fast success, but did not build a daily routine. Sarah started small. She focused on daily actions. She stayed patient. Over time, her small efforts grew into big results. This is the core message. You do not need to change everything at once. You just need to start small and stay consistent. At the end, the idea is very clear. Your life is the result of your habits. If you want better results, do not look for a big change. Look at your daily actions. Improve them little by little. That is how real change happens. So next time you think about improving your life, don't ask, what big thing should I do? Ask, what small thing can I do today and repeat tomorrow? That small step, done again and again, is what creates real success. Have you ever tried to change something about yourself, like waking up early or studying every day, but after a few days you just stop? It feels like you want change, but something inside pulls you back to the same old routine. This happens to almost everyone, and the reason is simpler than you think. Let's start with a small story. John wanted to get fit. He told himself, I will go to the gym every day. For a few days, he went regularly. He felt proud. But then one day he felt tired and skipped. Then another day he said, I'll go tomorrow. Slowly, he stopped going completely. After some time, he said, I guess I'm just not a gym person. Now compare this with Sarah. She also wanted to get fit, but instead of saying, I will go to the gym, she said, I am someone who takes care of my body. This small difference changed everything. Even when she felt lazy, she reminded herself, this is who I am. And slowly, her actions started matching her identity. This is what Chapter 2 of the book, Atomic Habits, is really about. It teaches a very powerful idea. Real change does not come from what you want to achieve. It comes from who you believe you are. Most people focus on goals, like losing weight or getting good marks. But the book says something different. It says the real key is to focus on identity. Think about it in a simple way. There are 3 layers of change. The first layer is outcomes. This is what you want, like getting fit or earning money. The second layer is processes. This is what you do, like exercising or working. The third and deepest layer is identity. This is who you believe you are, like, I am a healthy person or I am a hardworking person. Most people start from the outside. They focus on outcomes. But real change starts from the inside, from identity. Let's make this even simpler. Imagine Mike says, I want to quit smoking. That sounds good, but inside he still thinks, I am a smoker trying to quit. Now imagine another person who says, I am not a smoker. That sounds small, but it is very different. When someone offers him a cigarette, he does not say, I'm trying to quit. He says, I don't smoke. That is identity. And identity is powerful because it guides your actions without much effort. One important lesson from this chapter is that habits are like votes for the type of person you want to become. Every time you do something, you are casting a vote. If you study for 10 minutes, you are voting for, I am a student who studies. If you skip, you are voting for the opposite. No single action decides your identity. But over time, these small votes build a strong belief. This is why small habits matter so much. People often think small actions are useless. They say, what difference does 10 minutes make? But the truth is, every small action is shaping your identity. If Emma writes just one page every day, she slowly becomes someone who writes regularly. After some time, she doesn't need to force herself. It becomes natural because that's who she believes she is. Another key idea is that behavior and identity work in two directions. What you do shapes who you are, and who you are shapes what you do. At first, you might not fully believe your new identity. That's okay. You build it step by step. For example, if you want to become a reader, you don't start by saying, I will read 100 books. You start by reading a few pages daily. Each time you read, you prove to yourself, I am a reader. Slowly, your belief becomes stronger. Let's go back to John for a moment. His problem was not that he didn't know what to do. He knew he had to go to the gym. His problem was that he didn't change his identity. He still saw himself as someone who skips workouts. That's why it was easy for him to stop. Sarah, on the other hand, changed her identity first. She saw herself as a healthy person, so her actions followed that belief. This idea can be used in many areas of life. Suppose a student wants to get better marks. Instead of saying, I want to score high, they can say, I am a person who studies every day. Then they focus on small actions, like sitting with books for 20 minutes. Over time, this becomes part of who they are. Or think about someone who wants to be more organized. Instead of saying, I want a clean room, they can say, I am an organized person. Then they take small actions, like putting things back after use. Each action supports their identity. There is also a common mistake people make. They try to change everything at once. They set big goals and expect quick results. When they fail, they feel bad and give up. But the book suggests a better way. Focus on small habits that match your desired identity. Don't worry about big results at the start. Just focus on becoming the kind of person who can achieve those results. Let's take another simple example. Imagine a boy named Alex who wants to become good at drawing. If he focuses only on the goal, he might say, I want to draw like a professional, but that feels far away and difficult. Instead, if he focuses on identity, he says, I am someone who practices drawing every day. Then he starts with small steps, like drawing for 10 minutes. Each day he practices, he becomes more confident in that identity. Over time, something interesting happens. You don't just act differently. You start thinking differently. You start making choices that match your identity without forcing yourself. A healthy person chooses better food more easily. A reader picks up a book without thinking too much. A disciplined person finishes work on time. This is why identity is more powerful than goals. Goals give direction, but identity gives consistency. Goals are about what you want. Identity is about who you are. And in the long run, who you are matters more. Now think about your own life. Maybe there is something you want to change. Instead of asking, what do I want to achieve? Try asking, who do I want to become? Then start acting like that person in small ways. You don't need big changes, just small, repeated actions. Let's say someone wants to be confident. They don't need to suddenly become bold. They can start with small actions, like speaking one sentence in a group. Each time they do that, they prove to themselves, I am someone who can speak up. Slowly, their identity changes. The journey always follows the same path. First, there's a problem. You want to change something, but keep failing. Then comes understanding. You realize that the problem is not just your actions, but your identity. Finally, there is a solution. You start focusing on small habits that build a new identity. This approach removes pressure. You don't have to be perfect. Missing one day does not destroy your identity. What matters is the overall pattern. If most of your actions support your new identity, it will grow stronger. In the end, the message of this chapter is very clear. If you want to change your habits, don't just focus on what you do. Focus on who you are becoming. Every small action is a step in that direction. Over time, these small steps create a new version of you. So next time you try to build a habit, remember this simple idea. Don't just say, I want to do this. Say, I am this kind of person. Then prove it to yourself with small actions, again and again. That is how real change happens. What if I told you that most of what you do every day is not a decision, but a habit you don't even notice? Think about it. The way you wake up, check your phone, brush your teeth, sit, eat, scroll. You don't think much about it. It just happens. And that's exactly what this chapter is about. Let's start with a simple story. John wanted to get healthier. Every night he told himself, tomorrow I will wake up early and exercise. But every morning his alarm rang, and without thinking he hit snooze. Then he grabbed his phone, scrolled for a while, and stayed in bed. By the time he got up, he felt lazy and skipped exercise again. He thought he was just not disciplined enough. But the real problem was something else. This is where the book comes in. In Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits, the author explains a very important idea. Habits are not random. They follow a simple pattern. Once you understand this pattern, you can control your habits instead of letting them control you. The main idea of this chapter is that every habit has 4 simple steps. First, there's a cue. This is a signal that tells your brain to start a habit. Second, there's craving. This is a feeling or desire that pushes you to act. Third, there's response. This is the action you take. And finally, there's reward. This is what your brain gets after the action, which makes you want to repeat it. Let's go back to John. His alarm ringing is the cue. The craving is his desire to feel comfortable and avoid effort. The response is hitting the snooze button. And the reward is a few more minutes of rest. His brain learns that snoozing feels good, so it repeats the habit every day without thinking. This pattern is happening all the time in your life. For example, Sarah comes home from school. She sees snacks on the table. That's the cue. She feels a desire to eat something tasty. That's the craving. She eats the snack. That's the response. She feels good after eating. That's the reward. So next time, when she sees snacks, she repeats the same action. Now here's the important part. Habits are not just actions. They are solutions to small problems. Your brain is always trying to solve problems in the easiest way. If something works once, your brain remembers it and uses it again. Let's break this down in a very simple way. Your brain is like a machine that learns from experience. If something gives you a good result, your brain says, do this again. If something feels bad, your brain says, avoid this next time. Over time, these repeated actions become habits. This means habits are not about willpower. They are about learning patterns. John didn't fail because he was weak. He failed because his habit loop was built in a way that made him choose comfort every morning. Now let's understand the first key lesson from this chapter. Every habit starts with a cue. If you want to change a habit, you must first notice the cue. Most people don't even realize what triggers their actions. They just react automatically. For example, Mike checks his phone many times a day. He thinks he is just bored. But if he pays attention, he might notice that every time he hears a notification sound, he reaches for his phone. That sound is a cue. Once he sees this clearly, he can start changing it. Maybe he can turn off notifications or keep his phone away. Now the cue is gone and the habit becomes weaker. The second key lesson is about craving. This is the reason behind every habit. You don't want the habit itself. You want the feeling it gives you. John didn't really want to press the snooze button. He wanted comfort. Sarah didn't want just snacks. She wanted the taste and the feeling of enjoyment. This is very important to understand. If you want to change a habit, you must change what you crave. For example, if Emma wants to start reading books instead of watching videos all day, she should not just force herself to read. She should make reading enjoyable. Maybe she chooses fun stories or reads in a cozy place. Now her brain starts craving reading, not just forcing it. The third lesson is about response. This is the action you take. But here's the simple truth. You will always choose the easiest action. If something is hard, you avoid it. If something is easy, you do it. Let's say John keeps his running shoes in another room and his phone next to his bed. In the morning, it is easier to grab the phone than to go get the shoes. so he chooses the easier option. But if he keeps his shoes next to his bed and his phone far away, the situation changes. Now it is easier to put on shoes than to scroll. Small changes like this can completely change behavior. The fourth lesson is about reward. Your brain remembers what feels good. If a habit gives you a quick reward, it becomes stronger. If it feels boring or painful, it becomes weaker. This is why bad habits are often easy to build. Eating junk food feels good immediately. Scrolling on your phone feels fun right away. But good habits like studying or exercising often give rewards later, not instantly, so your brain doesn't feel excited about them. To solve this, you can add small rewards to good habits. For example, after finishing homework, Sarah can watch her favorite show. Now her brain connects studying with something enjoyable. Over time, the habit becomes easier. Now, let's look at a small journey. At first, John thinks his problem is lack of discipline. He keeps blaming himself. But after understanding this habit loop, he sees things differently. He notices his cues, understands his cravings, changes his environment, and adds small rewards. Slowly, he starts waking up and exercising, not because he forced himself, but because his habits changed. This is the real power of this chapter. It shows that habits are not magic. They are simple systems. And once you understand the system, you can fix it step by step. Think about your own life for a moment. Maybe you want to study more, eat better, or use your phone less. Instead of saying, I need more motivation, try asking a different question. What is the cue? What am I craving? What action am I taking? What reward am I getting? When you answer these questions honestly, you will see the pattern. And once you see the pattern, you can change it. The final message is very simple. You are not stuck with your habits. They are built from small steps, and they can be changed with small steps. You don't need to change everything at once. Just start by understanding the loop. Notice what triggers your actions. Make good habits easy. Make bad habits harder. Add small rewards where needed. Over time, these small changes will shape your life in a big way. Imagine this. Two people want to get fit. Both buy the same shoes. Both join the same gym. Both even follow the same workout plan. But after a few weeks, one quits, and the other keeps going without struggle. Why does this happen? It's not because of motivation. It's not because one is stronger. It's something deeper. Let's take a simple story. John wants to lose weight. Every morning, he tells himself, I need to exercise. Some days he does it. Some days he skips. When he skips, he feels guilty. He thinks he is just lazy. Now look at Mike. Mike also wants to get fit, but he says something different. He tells himself, I am a person who takes care of my body. Because of this, when Mike wakes up, he doesn't think about whether to exercise or not. For him, it feels like something he just does, like brushing his teeth. This idea comes from the book Atomic Habits, Chapter 4. The chapter talks about something very powerful. It says real change does not come from what you do. It comes from who you believe you are. This is called identity. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on results. They say things like, I want to lose weight, or I want to earn more money, or I want to read more books. These are goals, but the problem is goals only focus on the outcome. They do not change the person. The book explains that there are 3 levels of change. The first level is outcomes. This is what you want to achieve. The second level is processes. This is what you do to achieve it. The third and most important level is identity. This is who you believe you are. Most people start from the outside. They try to change outcomes first. But the book says this is the wrong way. Real change starts from the inside. It starts with identity. Let's make this simple. Imagine Sarah wants to stop smoking. She has 2 ways to respond when someone offers her a cigarette. In the first way, she says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. In the second way, she says, no thanks, I don't smoke. Both sound similar, but they are very different. In the first one, she still believes she is a smoker who is trying to stop. In the second one, she believes she is not a smoker anymore. That small change in words shows a big change in identity. The chapter explains that every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you read a book, you are casting a vote for being a reader. If you exercise, you are casting a vote for being a healthy person. If you write every day, you are casting a vote for being a writer. One action will not change your identity, but when you repeat actions again and again, the votes add up slowly. Your identity becomes stronger. Now let's go back to John. John says, I need exercise, but he still sees himself as someone who is lazy. So every time he skips, it matches his belief. His identity stays the same. That is why it is hard for him to stay consistent. Mike is different. He says, I am someone who takes care of my body. Even if he misses one day, he still believes in that identity. So the next day, he goes back to exercising. His actions and his identity match each other. This is one of the most important lessons from the chapter. If your habits and your identity are not aligned, it will always feel like a struggle. Think about this. If someone believes they are bad at math, they will avoid practicing math. Even if they try once, they will give up quickly. But if someone believes they can improve, they will keep trying. The belief changes the action. So, how do you change your identity? The book gives a very simple answer. You don't start by saying, I am this kind of person. You start by acting like that person. For example, if you want to become a reader, don't worry about reading 50 books. Just read one page today. That one action is a small vote. Tomorrow, read one more page. Slowly, you start seeing yourself as a reader. Let's take Emma. Emma wants to become a writer. At first, she feels unsure. She thinks, I am not a writer. But she decides to write just one paragraph every day. At first, it feels small. But after a few days, she has written many paragraphs. After a few weeks, she starts thinking, maybe I am a writer. After a few months, she no longer doubts it. Her identity has changed. This is the power of small habits. They don't just change what you do, they change how you see yourself. Another important idea in this chapter is that people often copy habits from others without thinking about identity. For example, someone may start going to the gym because their friend does it, but if they don't believe they are a healthy person, they will stop soon. Real change happens when the habit becomes part of who you are. Let's take another example. Imagine a person who says, I am not organized. Because of this belief, they keep their room messy. Even if they clean it once, they go back to old habits. But if they start saying, I am someone who keeps things in order and takes small actions like making their bed or keeping their desk clean, slowly their identity changes. Then staying organized feels natural. This chapter also shows why it is hard to break bad habits. Bad habits are often connected to identity. If someone says, I am a person who stays up late, then sleeping early feels wrong to them. If someone says, I am always late, then being on time feels unnatural. So to break a bad habit, you don't just stop the action. You change the identity behind it. Let's look at a small journey to understand this better. There's a boy named Alex. Alex wants to study regularly, but every day he delays his work. He plays games and watches videos. At night, he feels bad and promises to do better tomorrow. But the same thing happens again. Alex thinks his problem is laziness, but the real problem is his identity. He believes, I am someone who cannot focus. One day, he learns this idea from the book. He decides to try something different. Instead of saying, I need to study more, he says, I am someone who studies every day. He starts very small. He studies for just 10 minutes. It feels easy. The next day, he does it again. Some days he does more, some days less, but he doesn't skip. After a week, he feels a small change. He starts thinking, I can do this. After a month, he no longer sees himself as someone who cannot focus. Now he sees himself as a student who studies daily. His actions change his identity, and his new identity made his actions stronger. This is how habits work. It is like a loop. Your identity shapes your actions, and your actions shape your identity. The chapter teaches a very simple but powerful rule. If you want better results, don't focus only on goals. Focus on becoming the type of person who can achieve those goals. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, think, I want to become a runner. Instead of saying, I want good grades, think, I want to become someone who studies regularly. Instead of saying, I want to save money. Think, I want to become someone who manages money well. When you focus on identity, habits become easier. You are not forcing yourself. You are just being yourself. In the end, the message of this chapter is very clear. Small actions may look unimportant, but they are shaping who you are. Every choice you make is building your identity. So if you feel stuck, don't try to change everything at once. Start small. Choose the kind of person you want to become. Then take one small action that matches that identity. Repeat it again and again. Over time, you will not just have better habits. You will become a different person. Have you ever wondered why some people stick to good habits so easily, while others struggle again and again, even when they really want to change? It looks like they have more willpower or motivation, but the truth is something much simpler. Let's start with a small story. John decided he wanted to get fit. On the first day, he woke up early, wore his running shoes, and went for a jog. It felt great. The next day, he tried again, but this time he felt a little lazy. On the third day, he skipped it completely. Soon, his plan to get fit slowly disappeared. John thought the problem was that he was not strong enough mentally, but that was not the real reason. Now imagine Sarah. She also wanted to get fit, but instead of forcing herself every morning, she made a small change. She kept her running shoes right next to her bed. When she woke up, the shoes were the first thing she saw. She did not need to think much. She just wore them and stepped outside. Slowly, running became a part of her daily life. So what is the difference between John and Sarah? This is what Chapter 5 of the book _Atomic Habits explains in a very simple and powerful way. The main idea of this chapter is this. Habits are easier to build when they are obvious. If you can clearly see the habit, you are more likely to do it. If the habit is hidden or easy to forget, you will probably skip it. Most people think habits depend on motivation, but the truth is, habits depend more on what you see and what is around you. Your environment quietly controls your behavior more than your thoughts do. Think about your daily life. If your phone is always in your hand, you will keep checking it without thinking. If snacks are lying on the table, you will eat them without planning. You don't sit and decide every time. You just do it because it is right there in front of you. This chapter explains that our brain likes what is easy to notice. When something is visible, it becomes a reminder, and reminders lead to actions. Now let's break this idea into simple lessons. The first lesson is, make your good habits easy to see. If you want to build a new habit, don't hide it. Put it where you can notice it again and again. Let's say Mike wants to read more books. If his book is inside a drawer, he will forget about it. But if he keeps the book on his pillow, he will see it every night before sleeping. That small change makes a big difference. The book becomes a signal. It reminds him what he wants to do. The same works for bad habits. If something is always visible, you will keep doing it, even if you don't want to. So if Mike wants to stop eating junk food, he should not keep it on the table. If it is not visible, it is easier to ignore. The second lesson is about something called habit stacking. This is a simple idea. You take a habit you already do every day, and you attach a new habit to it. For example, Emma drinks coffee every morning. That is already a fixed habit. Now she decides that after she drinks coffee, she will read one page of a book. She does not need to create a new time or plan. She just connects the new habit to something she already does. This works because your brain already knows the first habit. It becomes like a trigger. When one action ends, the next one begins automatically. Think of it like a chain. One habit leads to another. Over time, this chain becomes strong and natural. Let's see how this helps in real life. Imagine Sarah wants to start writing every day. Instead of saying, I will write sometime, she says, after I finish dinner, I will write for 5 minutes. Dinner is already part of her day, so writing becomes easier to remember. The third lesson is about being clear. Many people fail because their plan is too vague. They say things like, I will exercise more or I will study later. These plans are not clear, so the brain does not take them seriously. This chapter suggests making your plan very specific. Decide exactly what you will do, when you will do it, and where you will do it. For example, instead of saying, I will study, John can say, At 7 p.m., I will sit at my desk and study math for 20 minutes. Now, the brain is a clear picture. It knows what to expect. When things are clear, there is less confusion. And when there is less confusion, there is less chance of skipping the habit. Now, let's connect all these ideas into one simple journey. John was failing because his habits were not obvious. His running shoes were hidden. His plan was unclear. And he depended too much on motivation. Every day, he had to fight with himself, and that is tiring. Sarah, on the other hand, made small, smart changes. She made her habit visible. She used what she already does as a trigger, and she made her plan clear. Because of this, she did not need to fight her mind every day. The system worked for her. This is the key point of the chapter. Success is not about pushing harder. It is about designing your environment in a better way. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to make small changes around you. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle on your desk. If you want to practice something daily, keep your tools in front of you. If you want to avoid distractions, move them away from your sight. These changes may look small, but they are very powerful because habits are not built in big moments. They are built in small, repeated actions. Your brain follows what is easy and what is visible. If you control these two things, you can slowly control your habits. At the end of the day, the message is simple. Don't depend only on motivation. Instead, make your habits obvious. Use what you already do as a starting point, and be clear about your actions. When you do this, habits stop feeling like a struggle. They become part of your daily life, just like brushing your teeth or eating your meals. And once a habit becomes natural, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it. That is where real change begins. Have you ever promised yourself that you will start something new tomorrow, but when tomorrow comes, you just don't feel like doing it? It feels like you need a big push, a lot of motivation, or the perfect mood to begin. But what if the problem is not your motivation at all? What if the real problem is how your habits are designed? Let's start with a simple story. John wanted to start exercising every morning. He knew it was good for his health. He even bought new shoes and made a plan. But every morning, when the alarm rang, he felt tired and lazy. Some days he tried, but most days he skipped. After a few weeks, he gave up. He thought, I just don't have enough motivation. But the truth was, John was depending too much on motivation, and that's where he went wrong. This is exactly what Chapter 6 of the book, Atomic Habits, talks about. The chapter explains that motivation is not the most important thing when it comes to building habits. Instead, the key idea is this. You don't need more motivation. You need less friction. In simple words, habits become easy or hard depending on how much effort they require. Think about this. If something is very easy to do, you will do it without thinking much. But if something feels difficult, even if it's good for you, you will avoid it. This is how our brain works. It always tries to save energy and choose the easiest option. So the main idea of this chapter is very simple. If you want to build a good habit, make it easy. If you want to stop a bad habit, make it difficult. Let's understand this with John's example again. Every morning, his shoes were inside a cupboard. His workout clothes were in another room. His alarm was far from his bed. When the alarm rang, he had to get up, walk, find his clothes, and then start. It felt like too many steps. Each step added a little resistance. And slowly his brain said, this is too much work. Let's skip. Now imagine a small change. What if John kept his shoes next to his bed? What if he placed his workout clothes ready at night? What if his alarm was right beside him? Now, when he wakes up, everything is ready. He doesn't have to think much. The effort is less. The habit becomes easier. This is the first important lesson. Reduce friction for good habits. Make the path simple and clear. The fewer steps there are, the more likely you are to take action. Now let's look at another example. Sarah wanted to read books every day, but every time she had free time, she picked up her phone instead. Not because she loved her phone more, but because it was right there in her hand. Her books were on a shelf across the room, so her brain chose the easier option. When Sarah understood this idea, she made a small change. She placed a book on her pillow every morning. So when she went to bed at night, the book was already there. Now reading became the easy choice. Slowly, she started reading more without forcing herself. This shows something important. We often think we need strong willpower, but in reality, we just need better setup. Your environment decides your actions more than your motivation does. The second key lesson in this chapter is about preparing your environment in a smart way. Instead of trying to push yourself again and again, you design your surroundings so that good habits happen naturally. Now, let's talk about bad habits. The same rule works in reverse. If something is easy, you will do it often. So if you want to stop a bad habit, you should make it harder. Take Mike as an example. He spent too much time watching videos on his phone. Every time he got bored, he opened an app without thinking. It was quick and easy, so he kept doing it again and again. One day, he decided to make a small change. He logged out his apps. Now, every time he wanted to watch something, he had to enter his password again. It added just a few seconds of effort, but that small effort made a big difference. Many times, he felt too lazy to log in, so he didn't open the app at all. This is a third key lesson. Increase friction for bad habits. Add small obstacles so that the habit becomes less attractive. Now, you might think, these are very small changes. Can they really make a difference? The answer is yes, because habits are not about big actions. They're about small actions repeated every day. And small changes in effort can completely change your behavior over time. Let's look at a simple journey to understand this better. Imagine Emma. She wanted to learn drawing. She bought all the tools, watched videos, and felt excited at first. But after a few days, she stopped. She thought she was not disciplined enough. Later, she learned about this idea of making habits easy. So she made a simple plan. She kept her sketchbook open on her desk. She placed a pencil next to it, and she decided to draw just for 5 minutes a day. Now, whenever she sat at her desk, everything was ready. No setup, no thinking. Just pick the pencil and start. 5 minutes felt easy. Some days, she stopped at 5 minutes. Some days, she continued longer. But the important thing was, she started every day. Over time, her drawing improved, not because she forced herself, but because she made it easy to begin. This shows a very important truth. Starting is the hardest part. Once you start, continuing becomes easier. So your goal should not be to do a lot. Your goal should be to make starting simple. Another interesting idea from this chapter is that our brain always looks for the path of least resistance. This means we naturally choose the easiest option available. So instead of fighting this, you can use it to your advantage. For example, if you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food in easy reach. Keep fruits or simple snacks where you can see them. When you feel hungry, your brain will pick what is easy to grab. If you want to study more, keep your books open and ready. If you want to write, keep your notebook in front of you. The easier it is to start, the more often you will do it. On the other hand, if you want to avoid something, hide it, remove it, or make it harder to reach. Even small steps like this can change your daily choices. The chapter also teaches that success is not about being strong all the time. It is about making smart choices before the moment arrives. You prepare your environment so that when the time comes, the right action feels natural. Think about it like this. If you have to climb a steep hill, it feels hard. But if someone builds a smooth road, walking becomes easy. Your habits are like that road. You can design them to be smooth or rough. So instead of asking, how can I become more motivated? Ask a better question. How can I make this easier? Coming back to John, Sarah, Mike, and Emma, all of them faced the same problem at first. They depended on motivation and failed. But when they changed their environment and reduced effort, things started to work. This chapter gives a very practical message. You don't need to wait for the perfect mood. You don't need to feel excited every day. You just need to make the action simple enough that you can do it even on a lazy day. In the end, the big idea is very clear. Good habits happen when they're easy. Bad habits happen when they are easy too. So your job is to control what is easy and what is hard in your daily life. If you make good habits easy, you will follow them without thinking. If you make bad habits difficult, you will slowly stop doing them. It's not about changing yourself completely. It's about changing small things around you. So the next time you struggle to start something, don't blame your motivation. Look at your setup. Ask yourself, is this easy enough to begin? And if the answer is no, make a small change. Because sometimes the smallest change can lead to the biggest difference. Have you ever tried to build a good habit, like reading every day or exercising, but somehow you just stop after a few days? It feels like you want to do it, but something keeps getting in the way. Now imagine if changing your habits was not about strong willpower, but about something much simpler, something you don't even notice. Let's start with a small story. John wanted to get fit. He decided that every morning he would go for a run. The first day, he woke up early and ran. It felt good. The second day, he felt a little lazy but still went. By the third day, he woke up late and skipped it. After a week, he stopped completely. John thought the problem was that he was lazy or not strong enough. But the real problem was something else. The habit was not obvious enough in his daily life. This is where this chapter from the book _Atomic Habits comes in. Chapter 7 talks about a very simple but powerful idea. If you want to build a good habit, you must make it obvious. That's it. Sounds simple, but it changes everything. The main idea is that we don't act based on what we want deep inside. We act based on what we notice around us. Our brain is always looking for cues. A cue is like a signal that tells us what to do next. If the cue is strong and clear, we act. If it is weak or hidden, we forget. Think about it. When your phone lights up with a notification, you don't think much. You just pick it up. Why? Because the cue is obvious. It grabs your attention. But if you plan to read a book and the book is hidden in a drawer, your brain doesn't see it. So you forget. John's problem was not laziness. His running habit had no strong cue. There was nothing in his environment that reminded him clearly, hey, it's time to run. Now let's break this idea into simple lessons. The first lesson is that habits start with what you see. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation. If something is in front of your eyes, you are more likely to do it. If it is out of sight, you forget it. For example, Sarah wanted to eat healthier. She kept buying fruits, but she also had chips in her kitchen. Every time she felt hungry, she ate chips. Why? Because the chips were right there on the table. The fruits were inside the fridge, hidden behind other items. Her brain saw the chips first, so she ate them. When she understood this idea, she made a small change. She placed fruits in a bowl on the table and put the chips away in a cabinet. Now, when she felt hungry, the first thing she saw was fruit. Slowly, she started eating better without forcing herself. This shows that we don't always choose what is best. We choose what is easy to see. The second lesson is about creating clear signals for your habits. The book suggests something called habit stacking. This means you connect a new habit to something you already do every day. For example, Mike wanted to start reading books, but he kept forgetting. Then he decided to link reading with his morning coffee. He told himself, after I drink my coffee, I will read 1 page. Now the coffee became a cue. Every morning when he had coffee, his brain remembered reading. Slowly, it became automatic. This works because your brain already knows the old habit. You're just adding a new step after it. It removes confusion. You don't have to think about when to do the habit. It becomes part of your routine. Let's go back to John. If John had said, after I brush my teeth, I will wear my running shoes, that could have helped. Brushing teeth is something he already does every day. It could act as a trigger for his running habit. The third lesson is about making your intentions clear. Many people say, I will exercise more or I will read more, but these are vague ideas. Your brain does not act on vague plans. You need to be specific. Instead of saying, I will run, say, I will run at 7 a.m. in the park for 10 minutes. Now your brain knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Emma wanted to study more, but she kept delaying it. Then she changed her approach. She said, at 6 p.m., I will sit at my desk and study math for 20 minutes. She also kept her books open on the table. Now everything was clear. Time, place, and action. It became much easier to start. When things are obvious and clear, your brain doesn't resist. It just follows the signal. Now, let's look at a small journey to understand this better. At first, people like John, Sarah, or Mike face a problem. They want to build good habits, but fail again and again. They think the issue is their lack of discipline. But actually, their environment is not helping them. Their habits are hidden, unclear, and easy to forget. Then comes the understanding. They realize that habits are not about trying harder. They are about designing your life in a smart way. They learn that what they see and what they connect their habits to makes a big difference. Finally, they find a solution. They start making small changes. They bring good habits into clear view. They link new habits to old ones. They make their plan simple and specific. And slowly, things change. Not in a dramatic way, but in a steady and natural way. John places his running shoes near his bed. When he wakes up, he sees them immediately. It reminds him to run. He also decides to run right after brushing his teeth. Now he has a clear system. He doesn't rely on motivation anymore. Sarah keeps healthy food in front of her and hides junk food. Without thinking too much, she starts making better choices. Mike reads 1 page every day after coffee. It feels easy, so he continues. Over time, 1 page becomes 5 pages, then 10. The big idea here is simple. If you want to change your habits, don't just focus on your goals. Focus on your environment and your cues. Make the good habits easy to see and hard to ignore. Your brain is like a machine that follows signals. If you give it clear and strong signals, it will follow them. If the signals are weak or hidden, it will do something else. So instead of asking, how can I become more disciplined? Ask, how can I make this habit more obvious? Put the book on your pillow if you want to read at night. Keep a water bottle on your desk if you want to drink more water. Set a clear time and place for your habits. Link them with things you already do. These are small changes, but they have a big impact. In the end, the message of this chapter is very practical. You don't need to fight yourself to build good habits. You just need to make them visible and clear. When the right cues are in front of you, good actions start to feel natural. And once something feels natural, it becomes part of your life without much effort. What if I told you that the reason you don't stick to good habits is not because you are lazy, but because your brain simply doesn't find them exciting enough? Think about it. It's easy to watch videos for hours, but hard to study for even 20 minutes. Why? Because one feels fun and the other feels boring. This is exactly what this chapter of _Atomic Habits is trying to explain. Let's start with a simple story. John wanted to get fit. He decided he would go to the gym every day after work. On the first day, he was excited. On the second day, he felt a little tired but still went. By the third day, he started thinking, I'll go tomorrow. And slowly, he stopped going completely. Now, John was not a lazy person. He worked hard at his job. So why did he fail here? The answer is simple. Going to the gym did not feel attractive enough to his brain. This chapter teaches a powerful idea. If you want to build a good habit, you must make it attractive. Your brain is naturally drawn toward things that feel good, fun, or rewarding. If a habit feels boring or painful, your brain will try to avoid it, no matter how important it is. The book explains that our brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. You don't need to understand the science deeply. Just know this. Dopamine is released when we expect something enjoyable, not just when we get it, but even when we think about it. That's why you feel excited before eating your favorite food or watching your favorite show. Your brain is already getting a reward just from the idea of it. Now think about this. If your habits don't give you that feeling of excitement, your brain will not want to do them. So the key is not just to do the habit, but to make your brain look forward to it. One simple way to do this is something called temptation bundling. This means you pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Let's take Sarah as an example. Sarah wanted to start running every day, but she hated it. It felt boring and tiring. So she made a small change. She decided that she would only listen to her favorite music playlist while running. Now, something interesting happened. Her brain started linking running with music. Slowly, running did not feel so bad anymore. In fact, she started looking forward to it. This is a very simple idea, but it works very well. You can take any habit and combine it with something enjoyable. For example, Mike wanted to read more books, but he kept getting distracted, so he decided he would only drink his favorite coffee while reading. Now, reading became more enjoyable. His brain started saying, reading time means coffee time. This small change made a big difference. Another important idea in this chapter is that we are influenced by the people around us. Humans naturally copy the habits of others. If everyone around you is doing something, it starts to feel normal and even attractive. That's why people often pick up habits from their friends or family without even thinking. Let's say Emma joins a group where everyone enjoys working out. At first, she might feel uncomfortable, but after a few days, she starts to notice that everyone is enjoying it. Slowly, her mind changes. She begins to feel that working out is normal and even fun. This is not magic. It is just how the human brain works. So if you want to build a good habit, try to spend time with people who already have that habit. When you see others doing it regularly, your brain starts to accept it more easily. It stops feeling like a difficult task and starts feeling like a normal part of life. Now, let's look at another situation. Imagine David wants to eat healthy food, but every time he opens his fridge, he sees junk food, chips, soda, sweets. These foods are designed to be attractive. They look good, taste good, and give instant pleasure. So even if David wants to eat healthy, his brain keeps choosing the junk food. The problem here is not David's willpower. The problem is that the unhealthy choice is more attractive. So what can he do? He can make healthy food more attractive. For example, he can prepare colorful meals, add flavors he enjoys, or keep fruits easily available. At the same time, he can remove junk food from his home. Now the healthy choice becomes easier and more appealing. This chapter is teaching a very practical lesson. Don't fight your brain. Work with it. Instead of forcing yourself to do something boring, change the situation so that the habit becomes enjoyable. Let's go back to John, the guy who stopped going to the gym. What if he had done things differently? What if he only watched his favorite show while walking on the treadmill? Or what if he went to the gym with a friend who made it fun? Or what if he rewarded himself with something small after each workout? Suddenly, the gym would not feel like a punishment. It would feel like something to look forward to. This is the shift from problem to solution. The problem is not that habits are hard. The problem is that they are not attractive enough. Once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and start changing your approach. Another simple idea from this chapter is to reframe how you think about habits. For example, instead of saying, I have to study, you can say, I get to learn something new. This small change in thinking can make a big difference. Your brain reacts differently to these words. One feels like pressure, the other feels like an opportunity. This is not about lying to yourself. It's about focusing on the positive side of the habit. Every habit has some benefit. When you focus on that benefit, the habit becomes more appealing. Let's take one more example. Lisa wanted to wake up early, but she always pressed the snooze button. Waking up early felt painful to her, so she changed one thing. She planned something enjoyable for the morning. She decided she would sit quietly with a warm drink and listen to her favorite podcast. Now, waking up early was not just about leaving the bed. It was about starting her day in a calm and enjoyable way. Slowly, her habit improved. You can see a pattern here. Every time, the solution is the same. Add something enjoyable to the habit. Make it feel good. Make your brain want it. The big lesson from this chapter is simple but powerful. People do what feels attractive. If you want to build a habit, don't just focus on discipline. Focus on making the habit enjoyable. Even small changes can make a big difference. So next time you struggle with a habit, don't ask, why am I so lazy? Instead, ask, how can I make this more fun? Maybe you can add music, pair it with something you like, do it with a friend, or reward yourself after doing it. These small tricks work because they match how your brain naturally works. At the end of the day, habits are not just about effort. They are about design. If you design your habits in a way that feels good, you will follow them without much struggle. But if they feel boring or painful, your brain will always try to escape. So the clear message is this: make your habits attractive. Add joy to them. Connect them with things you already enjoy. When your brain starts looking forward to the habit, everything becomes easier. That's when real change begins. Have you ever noticed how you start acting like the people around you, even without thinking about it? Maybe you begin using the same words your friends use, or you pick up small habits just by being around them. It feels natural, almost automatic. But what if I told you this quiet influence is one of the strongest forces shaping your life? Let's start with a simple story. John was not a big reader. He tried many times to build a reading habit, but he always gave up after a few days. One day, he joined a small group where everyone loved reading. They talked about books, shared ideas, and even met every week to discuss what they learned. At first, John fell out of place, but slowly, something changed. He started reading just so he could be part of the conversation. Then he started enjoying it. After a few months, reading was no longer hard for him. It became normal. He didn't force himself anymore. It just happened. This is the core idea of this chapter. Our habits are not only shaped by what we want, they are strongly shaped by the people around us. We copy behavior from others because we want to fit in. We want to feel accepted. And without realizing it, we start doing what the group does. The book explains this in a very simple way. Humans are social beings. We like to belong to a group. And to belong, we follow the group's rules, even if those rules are not spoken out loud. If everyone in your group wakes up early, you feel like doing the same. If everyone wastes time, you slowly do that too. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what feels normal. Think about Sarah. She wanted to start exercising. She watched videos, read tips, and even made a plan, but she never stayed consistent. Then one day, she made a small change. She started going for walks with a friend who already had a daily walking habit. At first, she went just to spend time together. But over time, walking became a part of her routine. She didn't need motivation anymore. The environment did the work. This shows an important lesson. If you want better habits, don't just focus on yourself. Look at your surroundings. Look at the people around you, because they quietly guide your behavior every single day. One key idea here is that we copy 3 types of people. First, we copy the close group. These are the people we spend the most time with. Family, friends, classmates. Their habits feel normal to us. If they eat healthy, we feel it's normal. If they eat junk food every day, that also feels normal. Second, we copy the many. This means we follow what most people are doing. If we see many people doing something, we think it must be okay. For example, if everyone around Mike spends hours on their phone, he will also feel like it's fine to do the same. But if he joins a group where people limit screen time, his behavior will slowly change. Third, we copy the powerful. These are people we admire. It could be someone successful, skilled, or respected. When we look up to someone, we want to act like them. If Emma admires a person who reads every day, she may try to read too, just to feel closer to that identity. Now think about this carefully. Most of the time, we don't choose habits directly. We choose the group, and the group shapes the habits. Let's go back to John. Before joining the reading group, he was surrounded by people who didn't read much, so not reading felt normal. There was no pressure to improve. But once he changed his group, his behavior changed without struggle. The habit became easier because it matched the group. This gives us a simple but powerful lesson. If you want to build a good habit, join a group where that habit is normal. Don't fight alone. Change your environment. Now, let's look at the problem many people face. They try to change their habits using willpower. They say, I will wake up early. I will study daily. I will stop wasting time. But they stay in the same environment. Same friends, same routines, same influences. And after a few days, they go back to old habits. Why does this happen? Because the environment is stronger than willpower. If your group does not support your goal, it becomes very hard to stay consistent. You feel like an outsider. And slowly, you return to what feels comfortable. Now imagine a different path. Instead of forcing yourself, you make a small shift. You start spending time with people who already have the habit you want. You don't even need to copy them perfectly. Just being around them changes your thinking. For example, if Mike wants to study more, he can sit with people who are already studying regularly. At first, he may feel uncomfortable, but over time his mind adjusts. Studying becomes a normal activity, not a difficult task. This is the solution the chapter offers. Change your group and your habits will follow. There's another important idea here. We don't just follow habits to get results. We follow habits to feel accepted. This is a very deep point. Many times, we do things not because they're good for us, but because they help us fit in. Think about it. If everyone around you is eating unhealthy food, you may do the same, even if you know it's not good. Why? Because you don't want to feel different. You don't want to stand out. But this also works in a positive way. If your group values healthy habits, you will follow them naturally. You won't feel forced. You will feel connected. This is why the book suggests a simple strategy. Find a group where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. When the habit becomes normal, you don't need to push yourself. It becomes easy. Let's take one more small journey. Emma wanted to improve her writing. She tried writing alone, but she often skipped days. Then she joined a small online group where people shared their writing daily. At first, she was nervous, but she saw others posting every day. Slowly, she started doing the same. Not because she had strong discipline, but because she didn't want to be left out. After some time, writing became part of her identity. Her problem was lack of consistency. Her understanding was that her environment was not helping her. Her solution was to change the group, and that changed everything. So, what can you take from this? First, look at your current habits. Then look at the people around you. Ask yourself, are these people helping me grow, or are they holding me back? This is not about judging others. It is about understanding influence. Second, if you want to build a new habit, don't rely only on motivation. Find people who already live that habit. Spend time with them. Even a small connection can make a big difference. Third, remember that fitting in is a powerful force. Use it wisely. Instead of fighting it, use it to your advantage. Choose a group where good habits are normal. At the end, the message is very simple. You don't become better just by trying harder. You become better by choosing better surroundings. Your habits are not just your personal choice. They are shaped by the people you spend time with. So if you want to change your life, don't start by changing everything inside you. Start by changing what is around you. Because when your environment supports you, growth becomes natural. And when something feels natural, it becomes easy to continue. Have you ever tried to build a good habit, like exercising or studying, but it just didn't stick? You start strong for a few days, maybe even a week, and then slowly you stop. It feels like something inside you just pulls you back to your old ways. Now imagine this. What if the problem is not your willpower at all? What if the real problem is something much deeper, something you don't even notice? Let's start with a simple story. John wanted to become a healthy person. He bought new shoes, downloaded a fitness app, and promised himself he would run every morning. On day 1, he ran. On day 2, he ran again. But by day 5, he skipped. Then he skipped again. Soon, he stopped completely. John felt bad and told himself, I am just lazy. But here's the truth. John was not lazy. He was just trying to change the wrong thing. This is where this part of the book explains something very powerful. It says that habits are not just about what you do. They are about who you believe you are. This chapter talks about something called identity. Identity means how you see yourself. It is your belief about who you are as a person. Most people try to build habits by focusing only on results. For example, I want to lose weight, or I want to get good marks, or I want to earn more money. These are all results. But the book explains that focusing only on results is not enough, because results come and go. They don't change who you are. Let's think about John again. He said, I want to run every day. But deep inside, he still believed, I am not a fitness person. So every time it got hard, his actions matched his belief. He stopped. His identity stayed the same. Now let's look at Sarah. Sarah also wanted to become healthy. But instead of saying, I want to run, she said, I am the kind of person who takes care of my body. This is different. She is not just focusing on an action. She is changing how she sees herself. This is the main idea of this chapter. Real change happens when you change your identity. When you start believing something about yourself, your actions slowly follow that belief. Think of it like this. If someone offers a cigarette to a person who is trying to quit, there are two ways to respond. One person might say, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." This means they still see themselves as someone who smokes. They are just resisting it. Another person might say, "No thanks, I don't smoke." This person has already changed their identity. They don't see themselves as a smoker anymore. That is why it becomes easier for them. So the first important lesson is this: don't focus only on what you want to achieve. Focus on who you want to become. Instead of saying, "I want to read more," say, "I am a reader." Instead of saying, "I want to study daily," say, "I am a person who studies every day." It may feel strange at first, but this small change is very powerful. The second lesson is about how to build this new identity. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly believe something new. It doesn't work like that. Your identity is built slowly through your actions. Every time you do something, you are casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. Let's take Mike as an example. Mike wants to become a writer, but he feels like he is not good enough. Now, if he writes one page, just one small page, he is giving a vote to the identity of, "I am a writer." If he does this again tomorrow, that's another vote. Slowly, these small actions build a strong belief. The key idea here is that you don't need big actions. Small actions are enough. One page of writing, one push-up, one page of reading. These are small, but they matter because they are proof. They show your brain that you are becoming that kind of person. Think about it like saving money. If you save a small amount every day, it doesn't look like much at first, but over time it grows. In the same way, small actions build your identity over time. Now here's something interesting. Many people try to change their habits by forcing themselves. They say, "I must do this," or "I should do this." But forcing doesn't last long. Why? Because your brain doesn't like conflict. If your actions and your identity don't match, it feels uncomfortable. For example, if Emma believes, "I am not good at studying," but she tries to study for hours every day, her mind will resist. It will look for excuses. It will feel tired quickly. But if she slowly starts believing, "I am someone who learns every day," her actions will feel more natural. So the third lesson is this: make your habits match your identity. Don't fight against yourself. Change your belief, and your actions will follow more easily. Let's bring all this together with a small journey. Imagine a boy named Alex. Alex wants to become better at school. At first, he says, "I need to study more." He tries for a few days, but fails. Then he learns this idea. He changes his thinking. He says, "I am a student who learns every day." Now he starts small. He studies for just 10 minutes daily. It feels easy. He doesn't skip. Each day, he proves to himself that he is a learner. Slowly, his belief becomes stronger. After some time, studying is not a struggle anymore. It becomes a part of who he is. This is how habits truly change your life. Not by big goals, but by small actions that change your identity. There is also an important point about being careful with your identity. Sometimes, people hold on to negative beliefs. They say things like, "I'm bad at math," or "I'm always late," or "I am not disciplined." These beliefs become like rules, and then their actions follow those rules. If you want to change your habits, you also need to question these beliefs. Ask yourself, is this really true? Maybe it was true in the past, but it doesn't have to be true forever. You can build a new identity, one small step at a time. Think of identity like a story you tell yourself. If the story says, "I am not good enough," your actions will match that. But if the story says, "I am improving every day," your actions will slowly match that too. The beauty of this idea is that anyone can use it. You don't need special talent or big resources. You just need to start small and stay consistent. Every small action is like a vote. Over time, these votes create a new version of you. So instead of asking, "What do I want to achieve?" try asking, "Who do I want to become?" This question changes everything. It shifts your focus from results to identity, from short-term to long-term. At the end, the message is very simple and very powerful. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. It is a loop. If you change one, the other changes too. Start with small actions, repeat them daily, and let them build the person you want to be. So the next time you try to build a habit, don't just think about the result. Think about the kind of person you are becoming. Because in the end, success is not about what you have. It is about who you are. Imagine this. John decides he wants to get fit. On day 1, he feels excited. He goes for a run, eats healthy food, and feels proud. After 1 week, he checks the mirror. Nothing much has changed. After 2 weeks, still nothing big. He starts thinking, is this even working? Slowly, his excitement goes down. One day, he skips his run. Then another day. Soon, he stops completely. Now here is the interesting part. If John had continued just a little longer, something would have changed. But he quit before he could see it. This is exactly what Chapter 11 of _Atomic Habits talks about. It explains why we often stop too early, even when we're doing the right things. And it teaches us how to keep going, even when results are not visible yet. The main idea of this chapter is simple. Progress is not always visible in the beginning. Real change takes time, and most of the work happens quietly before we see results. Think about ice. If you have a block of ice in a room, and the temperature is slowly rising from 25 degrees to 30 degrees, nothing happens. The ice still looks the same. Even at 31 degrees, 32 degrees, and 33 degrees, it does not melt. But when the temperature reaches 32 degrees, suddenly the ice starts melting. It looks like change happened instantly, but actually, it was building up all along. In the same way, when we build habits, results are not immediate. We do small actions every day, but nothing seems to change. This period is what the book calls the Valley of Disappointment. It is the phase where people feel like giving up. Let's take another example. Sarah wants to improve her studies. She starts studying 1 hour every day. After a week, her marks are still the same. After a month, still no big difference. She starts thinking, why am I working so hard if nothing is changing? But what she cannot see is that her understanding is slowly improving. Her brain is building connections. Her focus is getting stronger. These changes are happening inside, not outside. If Sarah continues, one day her marks will suddenly improve. But most people quit before reaching that point. This chapter teaches us an important lesson. Never judge your progress too early. Just because you cannot see results does not mean nothing is happening. Now let's understand the first key idea. Small habits create hidden progress. When you repeat a good habit, you are not just doing an action. You are building a system. Every small step adds up, even if the result is not visible. The process is working in the background. Think about planting a seed. You water it every day. For many days, nothing comes out of the soil. It feels like nothing is happening. But under the ground, roots are growing. The plant is preparing itself. If you stop watering just because you cannot see the plant, it will never grow. This is how habits work. The results are delayed, but they are real. The second key idea is about focusing on direction, not results. Many people look only at results. They ask, did I lose weight? Did I get better marks? Did I earn more money? If the answer is no, they feel like a failure. But the book suggests a better question. Ask, am I moving in the right direction? Even small progress matters. If John runs for 10 minutes today, that is better than doing nothing. If Sarah studied for 1 hour today, that is progress, even if her marks do not change yet. Direction matters more than speed. You do not have to be fast. You just have to keep moving forward. Let's go back to John. Instead of expecting quick results, imagine he focuses only on his habit. Every day, he runs a little. Some days he runs more, some days less, but he does not stop. After a few weeks, his body slowly adapts. His stamina improves. His energy increases. Then one day, he notices that he can run longer without getting tired. That is the moment when results become visible. But the real work was done in the days when nothing seemed to change. The third key idea is about patience. This chapter reminds us that success is not about doing something big once. It is about doing small things again and again, even when it feels boring. Many people start strong, but stop quickly. They want fast results. But real growth is slow. It is quiet. It does not feel exciting every day. Think about learning a new skill, like playing guitar. In the beginning, it sounds bad. Your fingers hurt. You make mistakes. But if you practice daily, slowly your fingers learn. Your mind understands the music. One day, you can play smoothly. But that day is built on many days of practice. Now, let's see a simple journey. Mike wants to wake up early. At first, it is very hard. He feels sleepy. Some days he fails, but he keeps trying. He sets a simple rule. Wake up at the same time every day. He does not focus on being perfect. He just focuses on showing up. For 2 weeks, nothing feels different. He is still tired. He thinks about quitting. But he remembers one thing. Change takes time. So he continues. After a month, something shifts. His body starts adjusting. Waking up becomes easier. He feels more fresh in the morning. Now the habit starts giving results. Mike did not suddenly become disciplined. He slowly built it through repeated actions. This is a core message of the chapter. Walk slowly, but never backward. You do not need to rush. You do not need big changes overnight. But you should not go back to old habits again and again. Even if progress is slow, it is still progress. Another important point is that habits are like money in a bank. Every time you do a good habit, you are making a small deposit. At first, the balance looks small, but over time, it grows, and one day, you have enough to see real change. But if you stop early, you lose the chance to see that growth. This chapter helps us understand why consistency is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited. Some days you do not. But habits are built when you act even without feeling like it. It is not about feeling ready. It is about doing the action anyway. So what should you do in real life? Start small. Choose a habit that is easy to do. Do it every day. Do not worry about results in the beginning. Focus only on the process. Trust that your effort is building something, even if you cannot see it. If you feel like nothing is changing, remember the ice example. The change is coming. You are just not at the breaking point yet. If you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started, and tell yourself, I will just do one more day. That is enough, because success is not about one big moment. It is about many small moments that add up over time. In the end, the message is clear. Do not stop just because results are slow. Do not go backward just because progress feels invisible. Keep moving forward, even in small steps, because one day, all those small steps will turn into something big. Have you ever tried to build a good habit, like exercising or studying daily, but after a few days, you just stop? It feels like something is blocking you, even when you really want to continue. The problem is not your motivation. The problem is something much simpler and also more powerful. Let's understand this with a small story. John wanted to start reading every night before bed. He bought a good book and kept it on his table. On the first day, he read for 10 minutes. On the second day, he forgot. On the third day, he felt lazy. After 1 week, the book was just sitting there, untouched. John thought, maybe I'm just not disciplined. But that was not the real problem. This is where the idea from the book Atomic Habits, Chapter 12, comes in. The chapter explains a very simple but strong idea. People repeat habits that feel satisfying, and they avoid habits that do not feel rewarding. In short, what gets rewarded gets repeated. Think about it. When you do something and it feels good right away, you want to do it again. When something feels boring or painful, you avoid it. This is how your brain works. It is always looking for quick rewards. The main idea of this chapter is about making habits satisfying, so your brain wants to repeat them. If a habit feels good at the end, even in a small way, you are more likely to stick with it. But if it feels like hard work with no reward, your brain will slowly push you away from it. Let's break this down in a simple way. Imagine two habits. One is eating junk food. The other is eating healthy food. When you eat junk food, it tastes great immediately. Your brain gets instant pleasure, so it tells you, do this again. But when you eat healthy food, the benefit is slow. You don't feel a big reward right away, so your brain doesn't get excited. Over time, you start choosing the habit that feels better now, not the one that is better later. This is why bad habits are easy to repeat, and good habits are hard to build. Bad habits give quick rewards but slow problems. Good habits give slow rewards but long-term benefits. Your brain focuses on the present moment, not the future. So what is the solution? The book suggests something very practical. If you want to build a good habit, you must add some form of immediate satisfaction to it. Even a small reward can make a big difference. Let's go back to John. His problem was not that he didn't like reading. His problem was that reading did not feel rewarding right away. So he stopped. Now imagine he changes one small thing. After reading for 10 minutes, he allows himself to watch his favorite show for a short time. Or he marks a big green check on his calendar. That small reward makes him feel good. His brain starts connecting reading with something positive. Over time, this small reward helps him stay consistent. Slowly, reading itself becomes enjoyable. But in the beginning, the extra reward helps him stick to the habit. This brings us to the first key lesson. Your brain needs a clear signal that a habit is worth repeating. And that signal is satisfaction. If you finish a habit and feel good, even a little, your brain says, let's do this again. If you feel nothing or feel bad, your brain says, avoid this next time. The second important lesson is about tracking progress. Humans love to see progress. When you can see that you are improving or staying consistent, it feels satisfying. This is why simple things like marking a calendar, checking a box, or counting days work so well. Let's take Sarah as an example. She wanted to start exercising every day. At first, she struggled. It felt tiring and boring. Then she started using a simple method. Every day she exercised, she put a check mark on her calendar. After a few days, she saw a chain of check marks. That made her feel good. She didn't want to break the chain. Now, even on days when she felt lazy, she still exercised just to keep the streak going. This is a powerful idea. The habit itself may not feel amazing at first, but seeing progress gives you a sense of reward. That reward keeps you going. The third lesson is about making sure you never miss twice. Missing once is normal. Life happens, but missing twice can break the habit. The key is to quickly return to your routine. When you come back fast, you protect your progress. Let's say Mike wants to study daily. One day he skips. That's okay. But if he skips again the next day, it becomes a pattern. Soon, the habit is gone. But if he studies the next day, even for 5 minutes, he keeps the habit alive. That small action gives him a sense of control and satisfaction. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. This chapter is not just about habits. It is about how your brain works. Your brain is always asking one question: is this worth it? And the answer depends on how you feel after doing something. If you want to build good habits, you need to make the answer yes. You do that by adding small rewards, tracking your progress, and staying consistent. Let's connect everything with a simple journey. Imagine Emma wants to wake up early and study. At first, it feels hard. She feels sleepy and bored. There is no reward, so she keeps failing. Then she understands the idea from this chapter. She decides to make the habit satisfying. After waking up and studying, she gives herself a small reward, like enjoying her favorite breakfast. She also tracks her progress with a simple checklist. Every day she completes her routine. She feels a small win. At first, the change is small, but slowly, her brain starts linking waking up early with a positive feeling. Now it becomes easier. What started as a struggle becomes a routine. This shows something important. You don't need strong willpower. You need smart systems. When you design your habits in a way that feels rewarding, your brain starts helping you instead of stopping you. One more simple example. Think about saving money. It is a good habit, but it doesn't feel exciting. You don't see the benefit immediately, so people struggle with it. But if you track your savings and see the number growing, it feels satisfying. That feeling motivates you to continue. So the real trick is not forcing yourself to do hard things. The real trick is making those things feel good in some way. At the end of the day, this chapter teaches one clear message. If you want a habit to stay, make it satisfying. Your brain follows pleasure. If you use that fact wisely, you can build any habit step by step. You don't need to change everything at once. Start small. Add a tiny reward. Track your progress. Don't miss twice. Over time, these small actions create big changes. So next time you struggle with a habit, don't blame yourself. Instead, ask a simple question. How can I make this feel good right after I do it? That one question can change everything. Have you ever told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into never? It feels small at first, but slowly it becomes a habit. Not doing things becomes easier than doing them. And before you realize it, even simple tasks start to feel heavy. Let's imagine a simple story. John wanted to start reading every day. He bought a nice book and felt excited. On the first day, he said, I'll read for 30 minutes tonight. But when night came, he felt tired, so he skipped it. The next day, he told himself, I'll read tomorrow. This kept happening again and again. Days passed and the book stayed untouched. It wasn't that John didn't want to read. The problem was starting felt too hard. This is where Chapter 13 of the book Atomic Habits gives a very simple but powerful idea. It says that most of the time, the problem is not the task itself. The problem is starting the task. Once you begin, things usually become easier, but the mind makes starting feel big and difficult. The main idea of this chapter is called the 2-minute rule. It means that whenever you want to build a new habit, you should make it so easy that it takes less than 2 minutes to start. Not finish, just start. Think about that for a moment. Instead of saying, I will read for 30 minutes, you say, I will read 1 page. Instead of saying, I will exercise for 1 hour, you say, I will put on my workout shoes. Instead of saying, I will study for 2 hours, you say, I will open my book and read 1 line. This may sound too small. You might even feel like it's useless. But this is where the logic becomes interesting. The goal is not to do a lot. The goal is to show up. Let's go back to John. Instead of trying to read for 30 minutes, he decides to read just 1 page every day. 1 page takes less than 2 minutes. Now his mind doesn't feel scared. It doesn't feel like a big task. So he starts, and something surprising happens. Once he reads 1 page, he often feels like reading more. Some days he stops at 1 page, and that's okay. But many days he continues. This is how habits grow. Not by pushing hard, but by making the start so easy that you cannot say no. There is a simple reason behind this. Our brain likes comfort. When something feels big, it tries to avoid it. But when something feels small, it doesn't resist. The 2-minute rule removes that resistance. It makes starting feel natural. Another important lesson in this chapter is about identity. Every time you do a small action, you are telling yourself who you are. If John reads 1 page every day, he starts seeing himself as a reader. If Sarah writes 1 sentence every day, she starts seeing herself as a writer. These small actions may look tiny, but they slowly change how you think about yourself. Let's take another example. Sarah wanted to start exercising. She kept planning to go to the gym for 1 hour, but every time, she felt lazy and skipped it. Then she tried the 2-minute rule. Instead of going to the gym, she decided that her only goal was to change into workout clothes. That's it. Just change clothes. At first, it felt silly, but she did it every day. Some days, she changed and sat on the couch. But after a few days, something changed. Once she was already in workout clothes, it felt strange not to move. So she started doing a few exercises. Slowly, her habit grew. The key was not forcing herself to work out. The key was making it easy to begin. This shows an important truth. Success does not come from doing big things once in a while. It comes from doing small things again and again. The 2-minute rule helps you build that consistency. Another idea in this chapter is that habits are like doors. The 2-minute rule is just opening the door. You don't have to walk the whole path right away. Just open the door. Once it is open, walking becomes easier. Think about studying. If you tell yourself, I have to study for 3 hours, your mind will feel pressure. You may avoid it, but if you say, I will just sit and read 1 page, your mind relaxes, and once you start, you often continue longer than planned. This method works because it removes fear and pressure. It changes the focus from results to action. Instead of thinking about how much you will do, You focus on simply starting. Now you might wonder, what if I only do the small action and stop? That's okay. The goal in the beginning is not to be perfect. The goal is to build the habit of showing up. Once showing up becomes easy, you can slowly increase the effort. Think of it like learning to walk. You don't start by running. You start with one small step. Over time, those steps become faster and stronger. Let's look at a small journey to understand this better. Mike wanted to improve his health. He planned big changes. He wanted to eat perfectly, exercise daily, and wake up early. But after a few days, he gave up. It was too much. Then he learned about the 2-minute rule. He changed his plan. Instead of big goals, he chose small starts. He decided that every day he would drink 1 glass of water in the morning. He also decided to do just 1 push-up. It felt too easy, but he did it every day. After a week, he started doing more push-ups without forcing himself. After a few weeks, he added a short walk. Slowly, his routine grew stronger. The big change came from small beginnings. The problem Mike faced at the start was trying to do too much at once. The solution was to make things simple and easy. This is what this chapter teaches again and again. Make it easy to start. There is also another hidden benefit. When you complete a small task, you feel good. Your brain gets a small reward. This makes you want to repeat the action. Over time, this creates a positive cycle. You start, you feel good, you repeat. That's how habits stick. On the other hand, when tasks feel big and you avoid them, you feel guilty. That creates a negative cycle. You avoid, you feel bad, and then you avoid even more. The 2-minute rule breaks this negative cycle. It is important to understand that this rule is not about doing less. It is about making it easier to do more in the long run. It is like building a strong base before building a tall building. Many people fail because they focus only on big results. They ignore the small actions that lead to those results. This chapter shifts your focus. It tells you to respect the small steps. Let's make it very simple. If you want to start a habit, ask yourself, what is the smallest version of this I can do in 2 minutes? Then do that every day. No excuses, no skipping. If you want to read 1 page. If you want to write 1 sentence. If you want to exercise, do 1 simple move. Keep it so easy that it feels almost silly. Over time, these small actions will grow naturally. You won't need to force yourself. It will become part of your routine. At the end, the message is very clear. Big changes do not come from big efforts at once. They come from small actions repeated every day. The hardest part is not doing the work. The hardest part is starting. So make starting easy. Make it so easy that you cannot say no. Because once you start, you are already moving forward. And that is how real change begins. Imagine this. You decide to wake up early tomorrow. You set an alarm. Morning comes. The alarm rings. You hit snooze. Again and again. After a few days, you feel like something is wrong with you. Why can't I just wake up? But what if the problem is not you? What if the problem is the system around you? Let's take a simple story. John wants to start jogging every morning. He is serious about it. On day 1, he wakes up early, puts on his shoes, and goes outside. It feels good. But on day 2, it's a bit harder. On day 3, he feels lazy. By day 5, he stops completely. Now John thinks, I am not disciplined. But here's the truth. John didn't fail because he is weak. He failed because his environment made it easy to quit. This is where this chapter from _Atomic Habits becomes very powerful. Chapter 14 talks about one simple idea. Make good habits easy by shaping your environment. In simple words, if you want to build a habit, don't fight yourself. Change what is around you so the habit feels natural. The book explains that we often think habits come from motivation, but that's not true. Habits mostly come from what we see and what is around us. Our environment quietly pushes us in certain directions. If your room is full of distractions, you'll get distracted. If your space is set up for focus, you will focus. Think about Sarah. She wants to eat healthy. Every night she promises herself, tomorrow I will eat clean food. But in her kitchen, there are chips, cookies, and soda. When she feels hungry, She doesn't think too much. She just grabs what is easy. And what is easy? Junk food. So even though her intention is good, her environment is stronger than her intention. Now imagine Sarah changes one small thing. She removes junk food from her kitchen. She keeps fruits on the table. She prepares simple, healthy meals in advance. Now when she feels hungry, what is easy? Healthy food. Slowly, without much effort, her eating habits improve. She didn't become stronger. She just made the good choice easier. This is the main idea of the chapter. If you want better habits, design your environment so the right action becomes the easiest action. One important lesson here is that we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. A system is simply how things are arranged around you. If your system supports your habit, you will follow it. If your system fights your habit, you will struggle. Let's go back to John and his jogging habit. Why did he stop? Because his environment was not helping him. His shoes were not ready. His clothes were not set. His bed was warm and comfortable. His phone was next to him. Everything around him made it easy to stay in bed. Now imagine John makes small changes. Before sleeping, he keeps his running shoes right next to his bed. He lays out his clothes. He keeps his phone far away, so he has to get up to turn off the alarm. When he wakes up, the first thing he sees is his running gear. Now the easiest action is to get dressed and go outside. This small shift can change everything. Another key idea in this chapter is that visibility matters. What you see often becomes what you do. If something is in front of you, you are more likely to use it. If something is hidden, you forget about it. Think about Mike. He wants to read more books, but his books are kept in a drawer. His phone is always in his hand. So what does he do most of the time? He scrolls on his phone. Not because he loves scrolling, but because it is right there. Now imagine Mike puts a book on his pillow. Every night when he goes to bed, he sees the book. It reminds him to read. Even if he reads just a few pages, it starts building a habit. Again, nothing magical happened. He just made the good habit visible. This also works the other way. If you want to stop a bad habit, make it invisible. If something is hard to see, it becomes easy to forget. Let's say Emma wants to reduce her screen time, but her phone is always on the table. Notifications keep popping up. She keeps picking it up without thinking. Now she decides to keep her phone in another room while working. Suddenly, she uses it much less. The habit didn't disappear completely, but it became weaker because it was not in her face all the time. So the second lesson is simple. Make good habits visible. Make bad habits invisible. There's also another powerful idea in this chapter. Reduce friction for good habits and increase friction for bad habits. Friction means how hard or easy something is to do. For example, if it takes many steps to start a habit, you will avoid it. But if it takes just 1 or 2 steps, you will do it more often. Think about writing. If John wants to write every day, but his notebook is hidden, his pen is missing, and he needs to set up everything each time, he will avoid writing. But if his notebook is open on the table and the pen is ready, it becomes easy to start. Even a small step like this can increase consistency. Now, think about a bad habit like watching too much TV. If the remote is always next to you, it is easy to switch it on. But if you remove the batteries or keep the remote in another room, it becomes slightly harder. That small friction can reduce how often you watch. These changes may sound very small, but they are powerful because habits are built on small actions repeated many times. You don't need a big change. You need a small change that works again and again. Let's look at a small journey. Sarah wants to become healthier. At first, she tries to force herself. She says, "I will eat better," but nothing changes. Then she understands this idea. She changes her environment. She removes junk food, keeps healthy snacks ready, and prepares meals early. Slowly, she notices that she is eating better without much effort. The problem was not her willpower. The problem was her setup. Once she fixed the setup, the habit followed. This chapter teaches us to stop blaming ourselves all the time. We often think, "I am lazy" or "I have no discipline." But many times, we are just in an environment that makes bad habits easy and good habits hard. If you change the environment, you change the behavior. You don't need to fight your mind every day. You can guide your actions by changing what is around you. This is a much smarter way to build habits. At the end, the message is very clear. Don't rely only on motivation. Motivation goes up and down. Instead, create a space where the right choice is the easy choice. Keep good things in sight. Hide bad things. Make starting easy. Remove extra steps. When you do this, habits stop feeling like a struggle. They start feeling natural. And that is when real change happens. Imagine this. John decides he wants to get fit. On day 1, he wakes up early, does a short workout, and feels proud. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, he feels a little tired, but still does it. Then on day 4, he skips. Nothing big happens. No one notices. And slowly, that small break turns into many skip days. Soon, the habit disappears. Now here's the question. Why did John stop, even though he knew exercise was good for him? This is exactly what Chapter 15 of the book _Atomic Habits tries to explain. The chapter focuses on one simple but powerful idea. Habits stick when they feel satisfying. If your habit gives you a sense of progress or reward, you are more likely to repeat it. If it feels boring, invisible, or pointless, your brain slowly loses interest. Let's understand this in a very simple way. Our brain works like a feedback system. When we do something and see a clear result, we feel good. That feeling tells the brain, this is worth doing again. But when we do something and see no result, the brain thinks, why should I bother? This is where most habits fail. Think about Sarah. She wants to save money. She decides to stop buying snacks every day. On the first day, she saved a little money. But nothing really changes in her life. She still feels the same. After a few days, she starts thinking, this is not making any difference. So she goes back to buying snacks. The problem is not her effort. The problem is that she cannot see or feel the result immediately. Chapter 15 explains that habits need to feel rewarding right away, not just in the future. Long-term benefits are important, but they are often too far away to keep us motivated. For example, eating healthy today may help you stay fit years later, but your brain cares more about how you feel right now. If healthy food feels boring, you may stop, even if you know it is good for you. So what is the solution? The book suggests a simple idea. Make your progress visible. When you can see that you are moving forward, even in small ways, your brain feels satisfied. This keeps the habit alive. One powerful tool for this is habit tracking. This means keeping a simple record of your actions. For example, every time John works out, he marks a small check on a calendar. After a few days, he sees a chain of checks. That chain becomes a sign of progress. It shows him that he is consistent. Now, the goal is not just a workout. The goal becomes don't break the chain. This changes everything. Earlier, John was focused on results like losing weight or building muscles. Those take time. Now, he is focused on showing up every day. And every check mark gives him a small sense of achievement. That small reward keeps him going. Let's take another example. Mike wants to read more books. He starts reading 10 pages a day. But after a week, he feels like nothing has changed. He still has many pages left. So he loses interest. Now imagine if Mike tracks his reading. Every day he marks 10 pages done. After 10 days, he sees 100 pages completed. That number feels real. It feels like progress. Now reading feels satisfying. This is the core idea. What gets measured gets improved. When you track your habit, you turn something invisible into something visible. And once you can see it, you care about it more. But there is another important lesson in this chapter. Tracking is helpful, but missing one day is not the end. The real danger is missing twice. When you skip a habit once, it is just a mistake. But when you skip twice, it starts becoming a new pattern. Let's go back to John. Suppose he misses one workout. That's fine. He was busy or tired. But if he misses the next day too, now it becomes easier to skip again. Slowly, the habit breaks. That is why the rule is simple. Never miss twice. If you skip one day, make sure you get back on track the next day. This rule keeps small mistakes from becoming big failures. It removes pressure. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to stay consistent. Now think about Emma. She wants to drink more water every day. She starts strong, drinking enough water for 5 days. On the 6th day, she forgets. Instead of thinking, I failed, she simply drinks enough water the next day. She does not let one mistake turn into a habit of skipping. This simple mindset helps her stay consistent for a long time. Another important idea in this chapter is that tracking should be simple. If your system is too complicated, you will stop using it. For example, if you need to write long notes or use complex apps, you may feel lazy. But if it is just a simple check mark or a quick note, it becomes easy to continue. The goal is not to make the system perfect. The goal is to make it easy and satisfying. Because in the end, habits are not about big changes. They're about small actions done again and again. Let's look at a small journey to understand this better. Imagine Sarah again. She wants to improve her life. She tries many things like exercising, saving money, and reading, but she keeps failing. She feels frustrated. Then she learns one simple idea. Track your habits and make them satisfying. She starts small. She chooses one habit, like walking for 10 minutes. Every day she completes it. She marks a check on her calendar. After a week, she sees 7 checks. That feels good. She continues. One day she misses, but she remembers the rule and does not miss the next day. Slowly, the chain grows longer. Now she feels proud of her consistency. After a month, walking becomes a normal part of her life. She does not have to force herself anymore. The habit is now automatic. Then she adds another small habit, like reading for 10 minutes. She uses the same method. Track it. See progress. Don't miss twice. Over time, these small habits build a stronger routine. The key was not motivation or willpower. The key was making progress visible and satisfying. This chapter teaches us something very practical. We often think that success comes from big actions or strong discipline. But in reality, success often comes from small habits that we repeat daily. And to repeat them, we need to feel some reward, even if it is small. Your brain does not care about your big goals. It cares about what feels good right now. So if you want to build a habit, you need to give your brain a reason to continue. Tracking is one of the easiest ways to do that. You don't need anything fancy. A simple notebook, a calendar, or even a piece of paper is enough. The moment you start marking your actions, you create a visual proof of your effort, and that proof builds confidence. There's also a deeper idea here. When you track your habits, you start seeing yourself differently. Instead of thinking, I am someone who wants to exercise, you start thinking, I am someone who exercises regularly. That small shift in identity makes a big difference. Because now you are not just chasing a goal, you are becoming a certain type of person. And when you see a long chain of consistent actions, you don't want to break it. It becomes part of who you are. In the end, the message of this chapter is very simple and practical. If you want a habit to last, make it satisfying. Give yourself a small reward by tracking your progress. Keep it simple. And remember, it is okay to miss once, but never miss twice. So next time you try to build a habit, don't just focus on the future result. Focus on making today's action feel complete. Mark it, see it, feel it, because those small moments of satisfaction are what turn actions into habits, and habits into long-term change. Have you ever tried to change something in your life, like waking up early or eating healthy, but after a few days, you just go back to your old habits? It feels like no matter how hard you try, you can't stick to it. Now imagine that the problem is not your effort, but the way your environment is set up around you. Let's start with a simple story. John wanted to read more books. He bought a new book and felt excited. On the first day, he read for 20 minutes. On the second day, he read for 10 minutes. By the third day, he didn't read at all. Instead, he spent hours on his phone. He thought he was lazy. But if you look closely, something else was happening. His phone was always next to him, easy to pick up. His book was in another room, out of sight. So what does his brain choose? The easiest option. This is where the idea from this chapter comes in. The chapter is about how to make good habits easy and bad habits hard by changing your environment. The book explains that we often think our habits come from strong willpower, but in reality, our surroundings play a much bigger role. If something is easy to see and easy to do, we will do it more often. If something is hard to reach or takes extra effort, we will avoid it. The main idea is simple. If you want to build a good habit, reduce the effort needed to do it. And if you want to stop a bad habit, increase the effort needed to do it. This sounds small, but it works in a powerful way. Let's understand this step by step. Think about your daily life. You don't sit and think about every small action. You just follow what feels easy. If your shoes are ready near the door, you are more likely to go for a walk. If they are hidden in a box, you may skip it. Your brain always looks for the path that needs the least effort. The first lesson is to design your environment so that good habits become the easiest choice. For example, Sarah wanted to drink more water. She used to forget all the time. So she started keeping a water bottle on her desk, in her bag, and near her bed. Now, every time she looked around, she saw water. Without thinking too much, she started drinking more. She didn't change her willpower. She changed what she saw around her. This shows a simple truth. What you see often becomes what you do often. So if you want to build a habit, make sure it is visible and easy to start. The second lesson is about reducing steps. The more steps something takes, the less likely you are to do it. Imagine Mike wants to exercise at home, but every time he has to move furniture, find his shoes, and set up space. That is too much work, so he skips it. Now imagine he keeps his workout clothes ready and clears a small space in advance. Now starting exercise takes almost no effort, so he is more likely to begin. The book explains this as reducing friction. Friction means anything that slows you down. If you remove friction, actions become smooth. And when actions are smooth, they become habits. This idea works for bad habits too. If something is too easy, you will do it even if you don't want to. For example, Emma used to watch too much TV. Every time she sat on the couch, the remote was right there. She didn't even think. She just turned it on. So she made a small change. She put the remote in another room. Now, if she wanted to watch TV, she had to get up and walk to get it. This small effort made her stop and think. Many times, she didn't bother to get it. This shows the third lesson. Increase friction for bad habits. Make them harder to start. Even a small extra step can break the automatic pattern. The chapter also talks about something interesting. Our brains like convenience. We are naturally drawn to things that are quick and easy. This is not a weakness. It is just how the brain works. So instead of fighting it, we can use it. Let's look at another example. John wanted to eat healthier, but every time he felt hungry, he reached for junk food. Why? Because it was easy. It was right there in the kitchen. Healthy food needed washing, cutting, and cooking. So he made a change. He started cutting fruits and keeping them ready in the fridge. He also moved junk food to a high shelf. Now, when he felt hungry, the easiest option was fruit. Slowly, his eating habit changed. This is not about forcing yourself. It is about making the right choice the easiest choice. Now, let's connect everything into a small journey. At first, people like John feel stuck. They try to change using willpower. They blame themselves when they fail. Then they learn this idea. They realize that their environment is shaping their behavior. So they stop fighting themselves and start adjusting their surroundings. They make small changes. They keep good things visible. They remove or hide bad things. Over time, these small changes make a big difference. One important thing to understand is that habits are not just about big decisions. They are about small actions repeated every day. And these small actions depend a lot on what is around you. If your environment supports your goal, you will move forward without much struggle. If it works against you, even strong effort will feel hard. Think about your own life for a moment. What is always around you? What do you see first when you wake up? What is within easy reach during your day? These things are quietly shaping your habits. If you want to study more, keep your books open on your desk. If you want to use your phone less, keep it away from your bed. If you want to exercise, keep your shoes ready. These are small changes, but they remove the need for constant decision-making. Another simple idea from this chapter is to prepare in advance. Instead of waiting for the moment, you set things up before. This makes future actions easier. For example, If Sarah wants to go for a run in the morning, she can keep her clothes ready at night. So in the morning, she doesn't have to think much. She just follows what is already prepared. This reduces what the book calls decision fatigue. When you have too many decisions to make, your brain gets tired. And when it is tired, it chooses the easiest option, which is often not the best one. But if you prepare in advance, you remove the need for decisions. So the big takeaway is this. You don't need to rely only on motivation or discipline. You can design your life in a way that makes good habits natural and bad habits difficult. In the end, the message is very clear. Success is not just about trying harder. It is about making things easier in the right direction. When you control your environment, you control your habits. And when you control your habits, you slowly shape your life. So instead of asking, why am I not disciplined? Try asking, how can I make this easier? That small shift in thinking can change everything. Have you ever tried to build a good habit, but it just didn't stick? You start strong for a few days, maybe even a week, and then slowly you stop. It feels like something invisible is pulling you back. But what if the problem is not your motivation or your willpower? What if the problem is your environment? Let's imagine a simple story. John wants to eat healthier. Every morning he tells himself, today I will not eat junk food. But when he opens his kitchen cabinet, he sees chips, cookies, and candy right in front of him. After a long day, when he feels tired, he reaches for those snacks without even thinking. Now, is John weak? Not really. His environment is just making bad choices easy. This is what Chapter 17 of Atomic Habits talks about. The idea is simple but very powerful. It says that the space around you can shape your habits more than your own decisions. In other words, your environment often controls your behavior without you even noticing it. Think about it. When something is easy to see and easy to reach, you are more likely to do it. When something is hidden or far away, you are less likely to do it. This is not about being strong or weak. It is just how our brain works. Our brain always looks for the easiest option. Now let's go deeper into this idea. The first important lesson is this. Make good habits obvious and easy in your environment. If you want to read more, don't keep your book hidden in a drawer. Place it on your bed or your desk where you can see it. Every time you walk by, your brain gets a reminder. It becomes natural to pick it up. Let's take Sarah as an example. She wants to start exercising every day. At first, she keeps her workout clothes in her closet. Every morning, she feels lazy and skips her workout. Then she changes one small thing. She places her workout clothes next to her bed before sleeping. In the morning, the first thing she sees is those clothes. Now the decision becomes easier. Slowly, she starts working out more often. This may sound like a small change, but it works because it removes friction. Friction means anything that makes a habit harder to start. When something is easy, you do it without thinking. When something is hard, you avoid it. The second lesson is about making bad habits invisible and harder to reach. If you don't want to eat junk food, don't keep it in front of you. Better yet, don't keep it at home at all. If it is not there, you cannot eat it easily. Let's go back to John. After understanding this idea, he decides to clean his kitchen. He removes all the junk food from visible places. Instead, he puts fruits on the table. Now, when he feels hungry, the first thing he sees is an apple or a banana. Without thinking too much, he starts eating healthier. Notice something important here. John did not suddenly become more disciplined. He simply changed his surroundings. His environment started helping him instead of working against him. Another simple example is with phones. Mike wants to focus on his studies, but he keeps checking his phone every few minutes. Notifications keep popping up, and his attention breaks again and again. One day, he decides to keep his phone in another room while studying. Suddenly, he feels more focused, not because he became stronger, but because the distraction is no longer in front of him. This shows a powerful truth. We often think we need more willpower, but in reality, we need better systems around us. When your environment supports your goal, you don't have to fight yourself all the time. Now, let's understand one more key idea. Our brain does not always remember goals, but it reacts quickly to cues. A cue is something that triggers an action. For example, Seeing a couch can make you feel like sitting. Seeing a TV remote can make you want to watch something. These cues are everywhere around us. So if you fill your space with cues for good habits, those habits become easier. And if you remove cues for bad habits, those habits slowly fade away. Emma wanted to drink more water. She used to forget and drink very little during the day. Then she tried something simple. She placed a water bottle on her desk, another in her bag, and one near her bed. Now, wherever she went, water was always in front of her. Without forcing herself, she started drinking more water every day. This is how small changes in environment can lead to big changes in behavior. There is also an interesting point about different spaces having different meanings. Your brain connects places with actions. If you always watch TV on your bed, your brain starts linking the bed with entertainment. Then when you try to sleep, your mind stays active. So it is helpful to give each space a clear purpose. Use your bed only for sleeping. Use your desk only for work or study. This way, your brain knows what to do in each place, and it becomes easy to follow good habits. Let's look at a small journey to tie everything together. At first, John struggles with his habits. He blames himself. He thinks he is lazy. But then he understands this idea from the book. He realizes that his environment is full of bad cues. Junk food is easy to grab. His phone is always nearby. Healthy options are hidden. So he makes simple changes. He cleans a space. He places healthy food in front. He keeps distractions away. He creates small setups that support his goals. Slowly, his actions change, not because he is forcing himself, but because his environment is guiding him. This is the real power of this chapter. It shifts your focus from, I need to be stronger, to, I need to design my space better. When you depend only on willpower, you feel tired. You're always fighting yourself. But when you design your environment well, good habits happen more naturally. Think of it like this. Imagine walking downhill versus climbing uphill. When your environment is designed well, you are walking downhill. Things feel easier. When your environment is messy and full of distractions, you are climbing uphill. Everything feels harder. So instead of asking, why am I not doing this habit? Try asking, is my environment helping me or stopping me? You don't need big changes. Small shifts are enough. Move things around. Make good choices easy to see and easy to do. Hide or remove things that lead to bad habits. At the end of the day, your surroundings are quietly shaping your actions every single day. If you take control of that, you take control of your habits. The simple message is this: don't rely only on motivation. Build a space that makes good habits easy and bad habits hard. When your environment changes, your behavior follows. Imagine doing everything right, but still not getting the results you want. You work hard, you follow advice, you stay consistent, but somehow, things just don't click. It feels confusing, right? Like something invisible is holding you back. Let's look at John. John wanted to get fit. He woke up early, went to the gym, followed a diet plan, and tried his best every single day. But after a few months, he saw very little progress. He started feeling frustrated. He thought, maybe I'm not trying hard enough. So he pushed even more. But still, nothing changed much. Slowly, his motivation dropped, and he almost gave up. Now here's the interesting part. The problem was not John's effort. The problem was something deeper. Something most people don't even notice. This is what chapter 18 of the book _Atomic Habits _ talks about. It explains why sometimes our habits don't give us results, even when we are trying hard. And more importantly, it shows what we need to fix. The main idea of this chapter is simple. It says that our habits must match our natural abilities and situation. If they don't match, we will struggle, no matter how hard we try. Think about it like this. Imagine asking a fish to climb a tree. The fish might try again and again. It might feel like a failure, but the problem is not the fish. The problem is that climbing a tree is not the right environment for a fish. In the same way, many people choose habits that don't match who they are. Then they blame themselves when things don't work. Let's go back to John. After struggling for months, he met a coach. The coach watched him and noticed something. John was forcing himself to follow a routine that didn't suit him. He hated running, but his plan was full of running. He liked strength training, but he was barely doing it. His habits were not matching his natural interest. So the coach made a small change. Instead of forcing John to run, he told him to focus more on lifting weights. He also adjusted his routine to fit his energy levels. Slowly, John started enjoying his workouts. And when he enjoyed them, he stayed consistent. And when he stayed consistent, he finally started seeing results. This is the first important lesson. The best habits are the ones that feel natural to you. If something feels very hard all the time, it doesn't mean you are weak. It may just mean that the habit is not the right fit. Now, let's understand this in a simple way. Every person is different. Some people are naturally fast learners. Some people are good with numbers. Some people are creative. Some people like quiet work. Some people like active work. There is no one perfect path for everyone. But many times, people copy others. They see someone successful and try to do exactly what that person does. But they forget one thing. What works for one person may not work for another. This brings us to the second lesson. You should choose habits that give you a higher chance of success. Think of Sarah. Sarah wanted to learn music. She saw her friend playing guitar and thought, I'll do the same. She bought a guitar and started learning, but she didn't enjoy it much. Her fingers hurt and she felt bored. After some time, she stopped. Later, she tried something different. She tried singing. This time, things felt easier. She enjoyed it more. She practiced more often without forcing herself. And soon she improved. The difference was simple. Singing matched her natural ability and interest better than playing the guitar. This doesn't mean we should only do easy things. It means we should choose the right kind of challenge. A challenge that pushes us, but still feels possible. If something is too easy, we get bored. If something is too hard, we feel stressed. But when something is just a little challenging, we feel excited. This is the sweet spot where real growth happens. Now let's look at the third lesson. It talks about how competition works. People often compare themselves with others. They see someone ahead and feel bad, but they don't realize that everyone is playing a different game. Imagine two students, Mike and Emma. Mike is very good at math. Emma is very good at drawing. If Mike compares his drawing skills with Emma, he will feel like he is bad. And if Emma compares her math skills with Mike, she will feel the same. But both are good in their own area. So instead of trying to win in every field, we should choose a field where we have an advantage. That doesn't mean we ignore other skills. It just means we focus more on what suits us. This idea can change how we think about success. Success is not just about working harder. It is also about choosing the right direction. Now, let's connect everything together with a small journey. At the start, John was working hard but not getting results. He felt confused and tired. Then he understood that his habits were not matching his natural strengths. Once he changed his approach, things became easier. He enjoyed the process, stayed consistent, and finally improved. The same thing can happen in any area of life. Studies, fitness, skills, work. The pattern is the same. If something feels very difficult all the time, stop and think. Is it really about effort, or is it about fit? Sometimes, a small change in direction can make a big difference. Also, when you choose habits that suit you, something interesting happens. You don't need too much motivation. You don't need to force yourself every day. The habit starts feeling like a normal part of your life. And when something feels normal, you do it more often. And when you do it more often, you improve faster. That's how small habits turn into big results. Another important thing to remember is that this is not about finding a perfect path instantly. It's okay to try different things. It's okay to fail. Every time you try something, you learn a little more about yourself. Over time, you start understanding what works for you and what doesn't. Think of it like testing keys in a lock. Not every key will open the door, but each wrong key brings you closer to the right one. So don't see failure as a sign to stop. See it as information. Coming back to the main idea, Chapter 18 teaches us that habits should not just be about discipline. They should also be about alignment. Alignment with who you are, what you enjoy, and what gives you energy. When habits match your nature, they become easy to follow. And when they're easy to follow, you stay consistent. And consistency is what creates real change. So the next time you feel stuck, don't just try to push harder. Take a step back and ask a simple question. Is this the right habit for me? If the answer is no, adjust it. Make it fit you better. Because in the end, success is not about copying others. It is about understanding yourself and building habits that work for you. And once you do that, progress stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling natural. Have you ever felt bored, even while doing something you once loved? Or maybe something felt too hard, so you just gave up? This happens to almost everyone. The truth is, our brain does not enjoy things that are too easy or too difficult. It wants something right in the middle. This is what today's idea is all about. Let's start with a simple story. John decided he wanted to get better at playing guitar. In the beginning, he practiced basic chords. It was fun because he was learning something new. But after a few weeks, those same chords felt too easy. He got bored, so he tried a very difficult song. Now it was too hard. He kept making mistakes and felt frustrated. Slowly, he stopped practicing at all. Now think about this. John didn't quit because he was lazy. He quit because the difficulty level was wrong. It was either too easy or too hard. He never found the just right level. This is exactly what this chapter from the book explains in a very simple but powerful way. The main idea is this. We stay motivated and interested when we work on things that are just a little bit challenging, not too easy and not too hard. This idea is called the Goldilocks rule. It means we do our best work when the task is slightly above our current ability. Think about a game. If a game is too easy, you win without trying and it becomes boring. If a game is too hard, you keep losing and it becomes frustrating. But if the game is just a bit challenging, you feel excited. You focus more. You try harder. And you enjoy it. This is how habits work too. Now, let's break this down into simple lessons. First lesson, we enjoy progress, not perfection. People often think they need to be perfect to feel good, but that is not true. What really makes us happy is seeing small progress. When you improve little by little, your brain feels rewarded. Let's say Sarah wants to improve her running. On the first day, she runs for 5 minutes. The next day, she runs for 6 minutes. This small increase feels good. It is not too hard, and it is not too easy. It is just a small step forward. But if she suddenly tries to run for 30 minutes, it becomes too hard. She gets tired, maybe even discouraged. And if she keeps running only 5 minutes every day, it becomes too easy and boring. So the key is to stay in that middle zone where you are improving slowly. Second lesson, boredom is a bigger problem than failure. Most people think failure is the biggest reason people quit. But in reality, boredom is often the real reason. When something becomes too easy, we lose interest. Think about learning something new. In the beginning, everything feels exciting. But after some time, when you know the basics, it feels repetitive. This is where most people stop. But the truth is, success does not come from excitement. It comes from doing the same thing again and again, even when it feels boring. Let's go back to John and his guitar. If he kept practicing the basics while slowly adding small challenges, he would improve. But because he got bored or overwhelmed, he stopped. So the lesson is simple. When something feels boring, it does not mean you should quit. It means you should adjust the difficulty. Third lesson, the right challenge keeps you focused. When something is slightly difficult, your brain pays full attention. You are not distracted. You are not bored. You're fully involved. This state is often called being in the zone. You feel focused and time passes quickly. For example, Mike is learning math. If the problems are too easy, he solves them quickly without thinking. His mind starts wandering. If the problems are too hard, he feels confused and gives up. But when the problems are just a little challenging, he has to think carefully. He stays focused. And when he solves them, he feels satisfied. This is where real learning happens. Now, let's look at a small journey to understand this better. Emma wanted to build a habit of reading books. On the first day, she decided to read 20 pages. It felt okay. On the second day, she tried to read 50 pages. It felt too hard. She got tired and skipped the next day. Then she tried reading just 5 pages every day. This felt too easy. After a few days, she started skipping again because it felt boring. Finally, she understood something important. She started reading 10 pages daily. Not too hard, not too easy. Slowly, she increased it to 12, then 15. Now she was improving, staying consistent, and enjoying the process. Her problem was not a lack of motivation. It was the wrong level of challenge. This is a core idea of this chapter. To build strong habits, you must find the right level of difficulty. Now you might ask, how do you find this just right level? The answer is simple. Look for something that is slightly harder than what you can easily do. Not double, not extreme, just a little more. If you can do 10 push-ups easily, try 12. If you can study for 30 minutes, try 35. Small increases keep things interesting. Also, pay attention to how you feel. If you feel bored, increase the challenge slightly. If you feel frustrated, reduce the difficulty. It's like adjusting a volume knob. You don't jump from low to high. You move slowly until it feels right. Another important point is that this balance changes over time. What feels hard today will feel easy tomorrow. So you must keep adjusting. This is why growth never stops. There's always a next level. But here is something important to understand. Even when you find the right level, you will still feel bored sometimes. That is normal. The difference between successful people and others is not that they never feel bored. It is that they continue anyway. They show up, do the work, and keep going. Let's go back to Sarah and her running. Some days, she may not feel excited, but she still runs her usual distance. Over time, this consistency builds strength. This is how habits grow, not through big changes, but through small, steady steps. So if you ever feel stuck, ask yourself one simple question. Is this too easy or too hard? If it is too easy, make it a little harder. If it is too hard, make it a little easier. That's it. This simple adjustment can change everything. At the end of the day, the goal is not to push yourself to the limit every time. The goal is to stay in the game, to keep going without quitting. Because real success is not about doing something big once. It is about doing something small again and again. So remember this. The best habits are built in the middle zone. Not in comfort, not in struggle, but in that small space where you're growing step by step. And if you stay there long enough, improvement becomes natural. That is the real power of this idea. Imagine this. You work hard to build a good habit. You finally succeed. You feel proud. But after some time, that same habit starts holding you back. Sounds strange, right? Something good turning into a problem. But it happens more often than we think. Let's take a simple story. John loved running. At first, he could barely run for 5 minutes. So he started small. Every day, he ran a little more. Slowly, he became really good. After a few months, he started telling people, "I am a runner." It became part of who he was. He ran every single day, no matter what. One day, John hurt his leg. The doctor told him to rest. But John refused. He said, "Runners don't rest. I must run." So he kept running. His injury got worse. Now, he couldn't run at all for many weeks. What started as a good habit ended up hurting him. This is what chapter 20 of Atomic Habits talks about. It explains that good habits can sometimes become a problem if we hold on to them too tightly. When we build habits, we often connect them to our identity. We say things like, "I am a reader," "I am a healthy person," or "I am a hard worker." This is usually a good thing. It helps us stay consistent. But the problem starts when we refuse to change. When we believe that this identity must never change, we stop thinking clearly. We stop asking, "Is this still right for me?" Instead, we just follow the habit because it feels like who we are. The main idea of this chapter is simple. Build good habits, but don't let them control you. Be ready to change when needed. Let's understand this in an easy way. Habits are like tools. A tool is useful only when used at the right time. Imagine using an umbrella. It is very helpful when it rains. But if you keep holding it even when the sun is shining, it becomes unnecessary. In the same way, habits should help you, not trap you. One important lesson here is about identity. Earlier in the book, we learned that identity-based habits are powerful. When you believe, I am this kind of person, you act accordingly. That's true, but this chapter adds a twist. It says your identity should be flexible, not fixed. Think of Sarah. She started eating healthy. She told herself, I am a healthy eater. This helped her avoid junk food. But later, she went to party. There were only simple snacks and a birthday cake. Sarah felt stuck. She thought, healthy people don't eat cake. She didn't enjoy the moment. She felt stressed. Now think about it logically. Eating one piece of cake does not destroy a healthy lifestyle. But because Sarah made her identity too strict, she created pressure for herself. A better thought would be, I usually eat healthy, but sometimes it's okay to enjoy. So the lesson is this: don't make your identity too rigid. Leave space for change. Another important lesson is about staying aware. When we repeat something again and again, it becomes automatic. That's the goal of habits. But there is a small danger. We may stop thinking. We just follow the routine without checking if it still works. Let's go back to John. At first, running every day helped him improve. But later, his body needed rest. Instead of adjusting, he kept doing the same thing. Why? Because he stopped thinking. He was just following a habit. This is why the book says we should review our habits from time to time. Ask simple questions like, is this still helping me? Or is there a better way now? This keeps you in control. Think of Mike, who studies every night for 2 hours. This habit helped him pass his exams. But later, his work became more practical. He needed to practice skills, not just read books. If he keeps only reading because that's his habit, he may not improve. If he stops and thinks, he might say, now I need to practice more and read less. That small change can make a big difference. So habits should grow with you. What worked before may not always work later. Another idea from this chapter is about ego. Sometimes we stick to habits just to protect our image. We don't want to admit we were wrong or that something needs to change. Let's say Emma always wakes up at 5 a.m. She feels proud of it. She tells everyone about it. But her work schedule changes, and she now needs more sleep. Still, she wakes up at 5 a.m. because she doesn't want to feel like she failed. She is not doing it because it helps her. She is doing it to protect her ego. This is not useful. A habit should serve your life, not your ego. A smarter way would be, earlier, waking up at 5 a.m. helped me. Now my situation is different. I will adjust. That shows real understanding, not weakness. Now let's look at a simple journey to tie all this together. Imagine a boy named Alex. Alex was lazy. He used to waste time on his phone. One day, he decided to change. He started a habit of studying 1 hour every day. Slowly, he improved. He started saying, I am a disciplined person. This identity helped him a lot. After a year, Alex became very strict. He studied every single day, even when he was tired or sick. He stopped spending time with friends. He felt guilty if he missed even one day. What started as a good habit became stressful. One day, he felt burned out. He didn't want to study anymore. He got confused. Why am I feeling like this? He wondered. Then he realized something important. His habit was good, but his thinking was too rigid. He changed his approach. He decided, I will study regularly, but I will also take breaks when needed. He stopped thinking in extremes. Now, he felt better. He still studied, but without pressure. His habit became helpful again. This is the balance the book talks about. So, what can we learn from all this? First, build good habits. But remember they are tools, not rules. Use them wisely. Second, don't make your identity too tight. It's okay to say, this is what I usually do, instead of this is who I must always be. Third, keep checking your habits. Ask yourself if they are still helping you. If not, change them. Fourth, don't let ego control your actions. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to improve your approach. In simple words, habits should work for you. You should not work for your habits. At the end, the message is very clear. Growth is not just about building habits. It is also about knowing when to change them. Life keeps changing, and your habits should change with it. So next time you build a good habit, remember this. Hold it, but don't hold it too tight. Stay flexible. Stay aware. That's how you keep improving without getting stuck. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.